out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Check, check. Lock it.
A quick throw now complete to Ross. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Off-play action. Fields escaping, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that.
And the pressure gets to him again. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson will take a shot for the end zone. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Fields. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Back to throw. Fields. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now it's Gurley. Brought down by the quarterback, William Jackson.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Well, last week, he found his way in the backfield from that linebacker position for 4 tackles for a loss. Another one there, first quarter.
Yeah, help me out, because we watched tape together before this game. We were watching what he did last week. Did that field tilt in his favor where he was just running downhill to plays?
Like
it certainly felt like it, didn't it? It felt like it on that play as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Tyree Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. After the penalty, it's Mixon. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A throw complete to Dorsett. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd and 2, Fields dumps it off to Mixon. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run with Anderson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And an alley to run. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. On 1st down, Fields. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
This time, Jackson will throw it. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing is Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at the 29.
On first and 10, Fields. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Joe Mixon. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on first and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson operating from the gun, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Check safety, check safety. He's coming, he's hitting weapon. We got double up, double up. Rush in.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
58.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the screen. Pass. 58, boys. 58. 58. Mike.
To throw again. Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. That'll bring up 2nd down. Second and 13. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Switch it.
From the pistol, it's Gurley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Another carry now for Gurley. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. fullback try and push the pile. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Dorsett on the return. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
I got you, son. I got you, son. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
2nd and 11. Got a man open, it's Ross. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point try good by Gano, and it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Here's Dorsett. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Mixon running right. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, Fields. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Get that quarterback. Hustle, hustle. Get that quarterback. 56, the mock, boys. 56. Check 56. We own it.
On 4th down, Fields. He's going to air one out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 87 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Looking to throw. Fields. Open man is Ross, complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll give it to Mixon. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Back to throw. Fields. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for two. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. His way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Off the play fake. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Looking to throw. Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Off play action. Fields. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On 1st down, Fields. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
Hey, we got 3 down.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And the Panthers are going to recover here, and that should be enough to get them the victory. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Down to a knee goes Greer, and that should be the final act in this contest. So with that need 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you watch that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and the people who really enjoyed this game, they're the ones that like going to batting practice.